everyone. Adam here, So Was Your Podcast. I have another interview for you today. I got to sit down with Sasha Anne, who is a social media influencer, musician, makeup artist, actress. She's kind of doing a little bit of everything. Sasha started in social media, so for me, it was a unique perspective on getting into that world. I'm probably just aging myself with these comments, but it was fascinating to see things from that side, which I think is how the way things are going to be going forward. I mean, if what's going on right now is any indication. Anyway, enjoy the interview. I found it really interesting to see this other side, or this new emerging way into the creative arts. Hey everyone, Adam here, So Was Your Podcast. I'm sitting down with Sasha Anne to talk about her career. You do a lot of things, and your new movie, Reed's Point. So before we get to Reed's Point, I always like to ask creative people, it's like my one boilerplate thing, to go back to the beginning and what got you started in, and it's not just acting, you do acting and singing, and you're big on social media. So I guess kind of the whole thing, which is a really broad question, but where did you kind of start?
So basically, after I graduated FIT in 2020, the whole world was on a pause, and I was thinking that's the perfect time to really get started on writing songs again and practicing my improv and everything like that with acting and doing my TikToks, because a lot of TikTokers actually do those kinds of things now. And then after I finished, I kind of got diagnosed with cancer before I graduated FIT, and my manager, Sandy, she said, "What do you want to do after you're done?" And I said, "Well, I want to get into acting again." So I'm so glad that Sandy knew my producer, Suzanne De Laurentiis, and she got me started with this movie. And of course, I did have to, I didn't audition for this one because the movie was kind of like a Make-A-Wish project for me, but it was a lot of work and I loved every minute of it.
Well, that's good. Are you, I don't want to get too personal, but you're okay?
I'm totally finished. December 2021 was my 1-year anniversary of being finished.
Oh, that's good to hear. Yeah, that's terrible.
I mean, it was fine because I'm just glad that I was diagnosed during the pandemic, like when nothing was happening anyways. Like everyone's stuck inside. So I'm like, okay, I'm not missing out on anything.
I guess that's a silver lining for sure. Yeah. Well, that's a really positive attitude. So I'm glad that you're still upbeat. And what is FIT? Is that a performance kind of university?
Oh, it's Fashion Institute of Technology. So I was in marketing and advertising, and I got my AAS degree.
Oh, okay, cool. So was that I don't mean to belittle, was that almost like a safety net thing if like performing doesn't work out, marketing, or was it just another interest you had?
So since I'm an influencer and I also market myself as well as my social media manager, and it's really helpful with like marketing for reaching out to publicists and trying to get brands to sponsor me. And I'm glad that I was in that program for marketing and communications, because it helps me like learn how to write professional emails, and now people get back to me and they're impressed with how I write emails. So that's great. But also it was interesting to see how people market themselves and like the behind the scenes of advertising.
Yeah, that's really smart too. So the influencer thing was in place before college?
Yes. And then my mom's like, "Oh, look, there's this program that you could get into. It's called Advertising, Marketing, Communications." And that I was like, okay, maybe that will be helpful. That could maybe give me like a little push on my Instagram and everything. So it was really helpful.
Yeah, that's a really smart move, because it seems now, even if you were just doing one thing, like I'm just acting, I'm just singing, I'm just doing modeling or design, whatever it is, it seems like the person is the brand. You're not
exactly.
Yeah, you're not a company.
I am my brand.
Right. Yeah. So that's a genius move to go and get a degree and learn how to do the marketing part.
it will also help with if I get like a normal job in like the future, then people will say, "Oh, she went to FIT. Oh, she was in advertising. Okay, so like it like goes hand in hand, sort of."
Yeah, and you're your own resume too
Yeah,
now.
exactly.
Like, look, it works.
Yeah.
So, as far as the influencing stuff, what was your first? Sorry, this cat is ridiculous.
No, it's okay.
What was your first move? Was it singing online?
I think at first, I mean, I was always a songwriter and I like to just like pour my heart out onto paper like all day long. And especially at night, it's so much easier at night for some reason. I don't know why. I feel like that's a lot of people too, but it's like just everything comes out at night and I write like my best songs at night. But I started doing cover songs on my YouTube channel and people really liked that. And then I did record some original songs. And then my producer, Suzanne, she saw that I also sing. And I sent her like a bunch of my demos. And she was like, okay, you're really good, but maybe let's start with getting to re record a hit song. So that's how I got to re record Catch Me I'm Falling.
Okay. And that was kind of your first, brought to that next level.
Yeah, that's my debut single.
Cool. So you're with you in social media, you weren't just kind of like playing around, like you were going for it from the beginning.
Oh, totally, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was singing since I was 3.
Oh wow. All right. Yeah. So you were right in it.
Yeah, I was like, this is going to happen. I'm going to get somewhere. And now the single is out. I hope that my originals will be out soon. But Suzanne and everyone's like, okay, let's first focus on getting this debut song out there. And then let's, like, we can't do too many things at once or else I get overwhelmed.
Right, and it'll probably also kind of like muddy the waters where maybe a video will get buried because you're putting so many on.
Exactly. It's like you can't do too many things at once. You have to let that one soak in a little bit, let everyone see that one, and then we'll see like where everything else goes and see what people like.
Yeah, it's really interesting to hear that calculated side of it because obviously everyone kind of knows in passing that you have to, feed the almighty algorithm, but like how do you do that? What's the efficient
Yeah, I mean,
process?
I have no idea what my followers listen to, like what kind of music. I know who they follow, but I don't know what kind of music they listen to. So that's what I kind of want to know soon. So I know like what originals to put out soon.
Okay. And I know on your press release it mentioned that you also got a ton of hits for a makeup video. Your Wonder Woman.
Yes. So my Wonder Woman video that I got, which award was that? Oh my God, that was in 2018.
So many awards.
Oh my God. So first I was nominated. I was a finalist in the 2017 Shorty Awards. That was for my Cinderella makeup tutorial. Oh my God, that's a while back. And then after, I was like, okay, I was nominated. I was a finalist. Let's see if I could win this time. So then I entered my Wonder Woman makeup tutorial since that was popular at the time. And Revlon came out with like a Wonder Woman collection. So that was big at the time. And I'm like, okay, I need to put a hook on my campaign. Like what could stand out? So I did Empowering Young Women and that won the Audience Honor Award in 2018. I was shocked. Like that my voice was actually heard and that I could also inspire other young women.
Yeah, that's awesome. And is that on the same channel as the music? Like it's you
Yeah,
as a channel?
same exact thing. I don't have 2 separate channels. Everything is
I don't know if you're doing makeup here and
everyone.
singing here and acting here.
No, yeah, I don't want to confuse everyone, so everything's in the same place.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
You
Yeah.
might have to scroll down a little bit, but
I'm sure if they search for Wonder Woman in your name, it'll come up.
yeah,
If it
definitely.
was that big. Yeah, that's awesome. So you kind of have the social media thing. I guess you never quite have it always figured out, but it seems like you're doing really good there.
Well, social media, it's always updating. I can't even keep track of that. Thank God I have my socials manager because she's always keeping track of like the updates going on. I have no idea like how the algorithm works and everything like that.
Yeah, I think they keep it confusing on purpose.
It is so confusing. It updates like every month. I can't keep track.
So that you're primarily focusing on singing for that aspect of it, or is it just kind of everything?
Well, for acting, that it's a tough industry. It's always like it always has to do with like auditions or if you have like the look for first it's the look and then it's the talent, which is so annoying. I could never understand that, but it's I think it's more difficult with acting because well, now it's a bunch of TikTokers getting into movies. I mean, Charlie D'Amelio, she's now starring in this thriller that's coming out soon. I'm like, it's all based on how many followers you have. It's ridiculous, but that's how it is these days. I personally don't like it. I don't know about everyone else, but it's a little sad. I wish that it could go back to like the talents.
Yeah, it's a whole weird, different world
Yeah.
now. Like,
Like
I
I
don't
feel
do it.
bad because I work so hard and I don't have as many followers as like the other people. So it's really difficult, but it's like acting. Then I go to singing. If that doesn't work, no, I'm just kidding. It will all work out. But I have my singing too, and then my makeup. So I got a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, you do, which is awesome. Especially, you're young, you have time to develop all this stuff. But the
Mhm.
fact that you were so focused so early, you're going to be ahead of the game.
Yeah, I
Um,
don't like to put all my eggs in one basket. I like to have a lot of things going on. Cause like imagine if something dials down, like then what do you have?
Well, yeah, like you brought up with COVID, if you were 100% all in on acting and they're like, well, we're shutting everything down for 2 weeks to 2 years, you're like, well, now what do I do?
Exactly. I was actually speaking to my friend like during the midst of COVID, and we were talking about like how everyone is on TikTok and how like Charlie and Addison and all those people are blowing up. I'm like, do they only have TikTok? Are they always on TikTok, or do they do other stuff too? Like, do they also have a brand and stuff? Because imagine if that's all they do, and then TikTok after COVID is gone. Like,
Mhm.
what do they have now? So that's why I say it's good to have a lot of things going on.
Yeah, for sure. Because there has been talk about like the government banning TikTok at a point,
Oh,
and
really?
well, because it's owned by the Chinese government. So our
Oh, I
government
didn't
didn't
know
want it
that.
on everyone's phones. Yeah, I'm not trying to get political by any means,
No,
but
it's
there
okay.
was talks of that a while ago. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'd be really afraid if my bread and butter was TikTok. And then our government's like, yeah, we're cutting that off.
Oh, I may have heard of that. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's probably like, what is it? Cows out of the barn or whatever it is. Like, I think it's too late. We can't put that back in the
Yeah,
box now,
yeah.
but it is smart. Like, YouTube's owned by Google. It's not going anywhere.
Mhm. Yeah.
You also do TikTok though, right? Like you kind of do a little
I
bit of everything.
do. Yeah. Actually, like at the beginning of 2020, I blew up like with one random video. It was crazy, but one video went viral. It was just like an idea I had with my voice coach. We were just doing like a funny little thing, and it just blew up overnight. I'm like, how on earth does that happen? And then all of a sudden, like my followers went up, and it's crazy how that works.
I've heard that from comedians too, where they're like, I was really trying on TikTok and okay views, and then I did one like goofy spur of the moment thing and like 5 million views. It's weird how it
It's
works.
crazy. It's like you can't think, okay, will this go viral if I post it at this? You can't. It just has to be random. Like no one knows.
Yeah, I think the only exception I've heard to that is that guy, Mr. Beast. Have you seen him on YouTube?
I've heard of him, but I don't know.
Yeah, he's got some insane, like an unheard of amount of people following him. I don't even want to
Oh,
quote because
no.
he's got like 5 different channels. And he's the only one I ever heard who's like, I know how to make something go viral. If I do this, this, and this, it goes viral.
Yeah,
But he's been doing it, his whole life also. So I don't know. It's a
that's
whole
crazy.
confusing world.
Yeah, it really is.
But I love that you're attacking it and hitting it hard, but also doing a variety of things. Like
Mhm.
you're singing and waiting for that to grow, but you're not just waiting and kicking back for 2 weeks. You went and made a movie, even with a horrible medical diagnosis. Like,
Yeah,
that's awesome.
it wasn't that horrible. I had people by my side. The nurses and doctors were so nice, and it was smooth sailing at first. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna lose all my hair, but hair grows back. It's
Mhm.
okay.
Yeah, you're healthy now, so that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
But like
So
when I'm waiting for my song to blow up and get onto the billboard, I'm working on my YouTube channel. So I have other stuff going on too.
yeah. I mean, your days are probably crammed.
Oh my gosh. In
uh,
the
so,
best way.
oh yeah, of course, it's what you
Yeah.
want. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Um, for Reed's point, you said that your agent just kind of found it for you. You worked with what was her name, Susan De Laurentiis, I believe you said.
Yeah, so after I finished chemo and after I became a certified makeup artist and graduated college, all that kind of stuff, my manager, she works with Suzanne De Laurentiis on like other projects and did interviews with her, I think, and said that I wanted to get into acting and to try and figure out like what kind of project to do for me. And it was a process. And I think that since Suzanne, she's from like the Jersey area, she wanted to do something with like the New Jersey Devil.
Hmm.
And she always wanted to do that kind of thing, but never had the chance. So I guess I gave her that opportunity.
I figured she had to be like Jersey local because who else is
Yeah,
going to be doing the
definitely.
Jersey Devil? Yeah.
Before, I had no idea what that kind of stuff was. She was like, okay, so we're going to do this horror film. What do you think? I'm like, oh, okay, great. I'm terrified, but definitely this movie helped me overcome that with horror films. I had no idea about the Jersey Devil or any kind of stuff like that, but I had to do some research before and they made me watch a bunch of movies. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll watch it during the day. Yeah.
So I guess that answers my next question if horror is your genre.
Well, now I'm watching a bunch of it because I go to like all the film festivals and I watch them. So I'm kind of getting used to it, but yeah.
Right. Having made one, do you kind of like, oh, I got to look behind the curtain. I know how this is done now when you watch a movie.
I still get those jump scares even watching my own,
Yeah.
but I kind of know how everything is at this point. I love like the behind the scenes stuff. I think that's so interesting. And when I was on set, I'm like, oh my gosh, blood. And they're like, no, no, it's fake. I'm like, ew, it smells. So I'm still getting used to that, but I kind of know how everything is at this point.
Yeah. Was that your first set period?
Yeah, my debut, my first time on set.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Because Susan De Laurentiis, she does a lot.
She does a lot of films. She doesn't do just horror. She does comedy. She does a bunch of different things. Oh my god! And I was just in. I had a small part in the pilot that she just finished filming with Jeff Lazarus. It's called On All Fours, and that's a comedy.
Okay, cool. And I know your co-star Madison. She started in horror also.
Yeah, she did a couple of like short films in the past. So
Yeah.
she knows what she's doing, and she kind of helped me with this feature film too.
Kind of showed you the ropes.
Yeah.
That's cool. Would you go back to horror? Or are you kind of looking to do something else, or you're not?
I would definitely want to go back to horror. I do want to do a few more films with Suzanne, if that's at all possible in the future, because I love her crew. They're all so amazing and helpful with everything, and it was just so much fun to be on set with them.
Was that shot in Jersey? Did you go to the Pine Barrens or?
So we have a small budget and we couldn't get everyone to fly to Jersey. So we did it in Glendale. So I had to fly out to Glendale, California to do it. But there were a few pickup days in Jersey.
Okay. Probably like in towns and stuff, I'm guessing.
It was like in the park.
Oh, okay.
To make it look like the Pine Barrens.
Yeah, I figure woods are woods. As long as you have the right kind of trees, it's gonna look okay.
So they had to really like get the set together because it was a small budget, but I'm really impressed with how they put it all together.
Yeah, well, the good thing with horror is that you can usually do it with like a small cast, but it doesn't feel like you're dodging.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you made that one, you said, in 2020 or 2021?
2021.
Okay.
That was in April 2021.
So things were kind of mostly open again, just with new protocols and.
Yeah, exactly. We all had to wear masks like when we weren't on camera, and everyone was very careful and tested before.
Yeah, I'm sure there's COVID agents part of the crew now. Yeah, that's awesome though that you got to go and make that jump.
Yeah, it's crazy to me. I still can't believe that happened.
Was that part of your plan from the beginning? Like when you like, I want to sing, I also want to act. I'm going to do it all. Or once you
Yes,
kind of started?
I said that, but it's one thing to say it and another thing to do something. So my mom was also part of it, and she really helped me with this project as well. And I can't thank them enough.
Yeah, that's awesome. Is your mom in the industry, or she just kind of see your dream and wants to help you?
She saw my dream and she wants to help me. And also, my brother is a producer, so he kind of knows like everything. He's a producer in the industry as well. And he was like, just let her do it. Let's see how she does. And he's like, if she loves it, then let her do it. My mom's like, oh, of course.
Yeah, and if you're getting millions of views on, YouTube, you're already performing.
Yeah, exactly. People are already seeing what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
I know I keep reiterating it, but I just think it's really cool that you're so young and you're like, this is what I'm doing. I have it figured out and I'm making it happen.
I hope I'm still young. I'm only 22. I'm getting old.
Well, you're talking about TikTok and stuff. I'm in my mid 30s and I feel like a 70-year-old man sitting here because I'm like, I don't know what's going on with TikTok. No, but I just love when people have that drive and go for it, because so many people get stuck like chained to a desk job that they hate, and
Yeah.
it's always someday, but someday doesn't happen. You have to make it happen.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
With going out looking for acting jobs, of course, you're auditioning and stuff, probably as the norm. Does your online status help with that? Like, do you have you could point to that?
Well, for my online status, again, I don't have as many followers as everyone else. And again, these days it's all about that, which is sad, but what are you going to do about it? So I actually do have a consultate. I don't really know what it's called, like a consultation, I guess, tomorrow with the casting director. So I hope that goes well. They're going to see like what kind of audition they could give me for something. So I'll see how that goes. It's all about auditions these days. And
Okay.
I really have to have like good headshots, a good reel, resume to send out to casting directors.
So kind of that typical stuff still exists.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff still exists.
Yeah.
I still do it. It's the normal.
A
Yeah.
lot of hoops to jump through, it sounds like, but I guess it's the game.
A lot of turn downs, mostly.
That's what I've heard. That's like the hardest part, is like you just have to keep going. Because even if they say no, it's not that you did a bad job. They might have just already had someone else in mind, or they went in a different direction. Or
Exactly.
like that. But they don't tell you that from what I
usually the look first that they want. If like you don't have what they're looking for, then it's like forget it, you're out.
Mm-hmm. For the auditions, are you going to all these places in person, or is it still a lot of Zoom auditions?
It's all Zoom auditions.
Do you
There's
prefer
nothing
that?
in person yet.
You haven't done it in person yet?
No.
Do you prefer doing it online, or would you rather go in?
I feel like in person would be better, just so they could see like your body movements too, and not just like your voice and your face.
Yeah, that makes sense. And
Yeah.
I feel like someone, I mean, we're just talking online, obviously, but you're a very like bright and energetic person. So I feel like you in a room would probably be a better sell than just like, here's my 30-second.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I feel like that would be better in person.
Yeah, it's that whole thing we talked about in the beginning where you are your brand.
Yeah. Hmm.
Well, that's really cool. I mean, once again, props that you're doing it. I think that's
Thank
awesome.
you.
I know you were a little tight on time and I had some technical difficulties in the beginning. So do you want to wrap it here? Are you good, or?
Let's wrap it here.
Yeah. Sorry. Normally I have this thing down, but the computer was just.
No, it's
I'll
okay.
have you back on and show that I know what I'm doing. I'll cut that part out. But I do appreciate you taking the time to come on. I know you have a lot of stuff to get to. So if you want to plug your socials, your YouTube, anything else to point people at.
Yeah, so people could follow me on Instagram at simply Sasha Anne, YouTube Sasha Anne, and of course TikTok Sasha Anne.
Very cool. Well, Sasha, thank you. Best of luck with everything. And Reed's Point is available now on VOD.
Thank you.
I'd like to thank Sasha one more time for coming on the show and talking to me about her creative journey so far, what this social media influencer thing really is. how it kind of works, bird's eye view of kind of how it works and the marketing behind it and the thought behind it and how to chase, the almighty algorithm. We've heard that word so many times. And then to hear about her story going through cancer treatments and keeping a good attitude through it and becoming an actor and now musician, and it's just very cool to see a young person going for it. Very intelligent of her to go to school to not have a backup plan, but to strengthen her current plan. I found it inspiring in a lot of ways and also just interesting at a look to a world that I'm a big time outsider on. You can follow Sasha on social media. You can give her social medias. You can follow her on YouTube. Please make sure to like and subscribe. We have a lot more interviews, new movie coverage, comic coverage, Amazon reviews, everything you love coming your way. You're not going to want to miss out. Also, make sure you listen to So Wizard Podcast every single week, wherever you get your podcasts. SoWizardPodcast.com is your resource for reviews, recommendations, videos, merchandise, and more. We love hearing feedback, so drop some note in the comments, leave us something on social media. All of our accounts will be found after the show and in the show notes. So Wizard Podcast can also be found on Patreon, where for as little as $1 a month, you get multiple monthly bonus shows. And on a more personal note, a good friend and I have an ongoing comedy comic series. It's called Social Studies. It's a slice of life comic, about the high school experience, kind of finding your place, finding your group of friends, figuring out who you are, all that fun stuff, but we keep it light, we keep it fun, we write it like a sitcom, we style it after the 90s cartoons that we grew up on and inspired us. 9 issues currently available at socialstudiescomic.com or on Comixology and Comixology Unlimited. Check it out. Thanks.